Alright, I'm fixing to cover a lot of topics really fast. You're going to have to do your homework. I know y'all going to have a million questions. I'm going to try to fill in as many blanks as I can as we go. But this information is coming really fast. Actually, it's information I've had for a long time. I'm just understanding it in a way I can explain more coherently. So I need to do a little setup here, background, so you can understand what I'm talking about. If you have not read at minimum, the New Testament, you just need to read it. You don't need to understand it, you just need to read it. Because we're fixing to be talking a lot about the Bible, which is the script, and the different ways of its interpretations, its translations, transliterations, and other scripts. Predominantly the Sumerian text, the Mesopotamian, Hammurabi's codices, and the story of Arthritis, which is where we're going to start. I've tried to find it online. It's pretty much been scrubbed somewhere on one of my drives. I might have a copy of it. I deemed it very important when I first read it. So let's start here. This is all coming from information I learned during my years at occult.biz and in a trunkload of Freemasonry manuals from the Mormon Church, their branch of Freemasonry. The Great Pyramid was a line marker. The story kind of goes, you have earth, water, fire, and air. And Jupiter overthrows Saturn. Zeus takes out Kronos. So you're left with this gap, which Kronos represents time. And when you talk time, you're talking the Zodiac. So we started out with a Zodiac that was all trees. And then we moved to one that was birds. And then you had gardens, like the Hanging Babylon Gardens. That's a Zodiac. The Dendera Zodiac is not Egyptian. So in the timeline, they remapped everything. In the Mesopotamian text, it would have been when they came from Jupiter to here, which Jupiter represents Europe. Africa represents the black people, so they are earth. Asia is fire. You have water, fire, earth, and air. Air was India in the age of Gemini. But they changed everything and they split it into three. It was the clock in the heavens has always been set up on three crosses, which are the three variables of mutable, fixed, cardinal. But the four elements are the four directions. Like in the New Testament, you're gonna Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are earth, water, fire, and air. One sees him as a prophet, one a priest, one a king, and one the Son of God. They're all coming at you from different ways, and depending on where you're at on this map depends on the teaching you got, because the scribes scribbled the scriptures and gave us Bible, Babylon, back to the Great Pyramid. So the Great Pyramid, they divided it into three from that point. So North Africa fell under fire at this time. Europe got water, but at the same time, because water, they also got air. They also took over the power of air at that time. Okay? So this is almost like post-flood. when they tell you, well, we came here and we found this, so we just put our flag on it and we claim it, right? So North Africa, even though Africa's black, North Africa didn't necessarily belong to the blacks the way that it was cut up. It belonged into Fire of Asia. Now, the master, Thalem in the Arabic, what we are told, Christ. Let's just do a quick over right here. We're going to use the 1611 King James. Let's take a look at it first, and you can see all the books of the Old Testament, all the books of the New Testament, and then what we weren't given. 1st and 2nd Ezra, very important books. That's coming out of Babylon. Tobit, Judith, additions to Esther, which is part of 1st and 2nd Ezra. Wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiasticus, Baruch, letter of Jeremiah, prayer of Azariah, Suzanne, Bel and the Dragon. And then 1st and 2nd Maccabees with prayer of Manasseh, which is one of the tribes. So I want to take us to Revelation. Where's my go? Now, in alchemy, you take no oath. That means no vowels to L, no vowels, because vowels are interchangeable. The U is going to be in place of the V, and the V, the U. The image, the sound remains the same, the image swap places. So when you say ru-elation, ru is red. That's red elation of Isus, Aisus, which God gave. See the U going to be the V again. Unto, the U, the V here in place of the U. Also in the King's English, you don't see it in this script. But this script over here, in the original font, the F looks like an S. It's really hard to tell the difference between the F and the S. Like in Yod He Vav He. He looks so much like Chet. They're almost identical. That on a very old text, it would be hard to tell the difference between He and Chet. So it's not Yo He Vav He, it's Yo Chet Vav He or Yo He Vav Chet. And again, the V and the U symbol, we say double U, right? We say double U, but it looks like, why does it look like a double V? This is why. Because the scribes have scribbled the scriptures. Now, this text is written to the 7 churches which are in Asia. Back to the map. Asia represents fire. Before the flood, Europe was fire and Asia was water. After the flood, Asia was water and Europe was fire. They both serve the same gods, which are Mars and Jupiter. They have no problem. I've got to go check her. Okay, sorry about that. I have no idea where I am in the video, but I know where I am in my mind. So, let's talk about Asia for a minute, because that's who the book's written to. It's written to Asia, which are the 7 churches, which we get the teaching of the 7 chakras from India, right? In India, during the age of Gemini, they venerate Mercury and Jupiter, Gemini and Sagittarius. Jupiter is at that time in fire. Okay, Jupiter's in fire. And Mercury is in air. a masculine principle. The masculine principle is air and fire. The feminine principle is water and earth. So, in the Orient, well, let me back up to South America. In South America, we have Quetzalcoatl, which is the feathered serpent. It represents the ages of Scorpio and Libra. All of the ancient zodiacs, Scorpio is an eagle. Even in the book of Revelation, Scorpio on the fixed cross, I saw a creature in heaven, the face of a man, a lion, an ox, and not a scorpion, an eagle. So the symbols are switching, are part of the Babel. So Quetzalcoatl, which the peoples of South America were told to travel north until they had the vision, till you saw the eagle with the snake in its claws. So that energy's moving. But the energy originated here as the feathered serpent. Now, the serpent lost its feathers, right? It was thrown out of the garden, and it lost its feathers. Could no longer fly. Its air power was taken away. And it became just the serpent, or what we know in symbolism today as the red dragon. And it makes its way around. It's always been hard to tell. Does Buddha come from India to China, or from China to India? Well, at one point, all of this was Asia. You didn't have the Indian continent. So, India is called the land of 1,000 temples. They venerate all the gods, just like Egypt did. Egypt, the Nile River, was set up kind of like the Milky Way, and then the constellations around it, with the stars that coincided with those constellations, and temples were built to them. And all of the temples on the earth really in this age represent either water or fire. Air, the third pillar, it has no temple. We do not have the third hole in our head. There's no temple. The Son of Man hath nowhere to lay his head. So Jesus is going to represent the age of Aquarius. I need a zodiac up here. Hold on. Okay, we've been through this before. Saturn rules Aquarius and Capricorn. Everybody else is split. When you translate the Bible one way, if you translate or transliterate, it'll tell you God is one. God is one. Right? But the other way, God comes off as androgynous. He's both male and female. You have the Father, the Son, and then you, the Mother, the Father, and the child. Fomalhaut is one star that represents both of these ages. They are one. Saturn is not divided. Saturn is masculine and feminine. So are we. Everybody has both aspects. Like I've told you, if you have a feminine side of your brain and a masculine side of your brain, we're supposed to make the outside like the inside. And the world is, they look at Pan as androgynous. Pan, the man goat, the goat man is now the goat man. Baphomet. And this teaching that's out there, that's consumed the world, they call Luciferianism, right? Which is Libra, the feathered serpent that lost its wings. and cast down to earth Taurus, which is the heart, Venus, out of pride, which was Leo. And Yaldabaoth is a serpent lion. A serpent lion. The Father was not part of the creation. It was an abomination. It was a serpent lion. I'm speaking from the Nag Hammadi text. You can find that information in the Secret Teachings of John, some of the other books, other traditions as well, including the Bible, Greek manuscripts, which the age of Buddha was the age of Gemini Sagittarius, which is the mutable cross, just like it is now. So this power is the masculine power of this age. Gemini went from earth to heaven in the age of Gemini. But in Pisces, he's cast down back to earth in this age. They're pangendered is what they call it, because they're imitating God. They're imitating God. Gemini, the land of 1,000 temples, has many masks, many faces, because of children's rhymes. I've always associated Mercury with Little Boy Blue. He's the messenger. He has the horn. Little Boy Blue, come blow your horn. The sheep are in the meadow. The cows are in the corn. Everything we've ever been taught is a spell. The day they put us in school and we learned to read, when we learned the symbols of the alphabet, you were initiated into the mysteries. You level up when you join a church. You can't become a Freemason unless you belong to a religion. You cannot be an atheist. You must have a book on the altar. Now atheists have their book. So now they have their altar. They just need the followers. So the beast that was and is not, but will be, because the circle keeps turning around and around, but everything ends up kind of upside down. We're in an upside down world right now because Pisces represents the life of Peter. And Peter denies Christ thrice, 3 times, before the cock crows. The cock is an image of the sun and also Saturn. He is also crucified upside down because he out of self-contempt considered himself unworthy. So the whole world is upside down because in the script, Peter made the decision to be crucified upside down. So good is evil, evil is good. In the Old Testament, in Ezekiel, mimics Revelation. But there are some differences. In Ezekiel, when the slaughter comes, the purification, the cleansing, the angel or the man with the inkhorn is told to go put a mark on the forehead of all those who weep and sigh for the abominations that are done in the temple. And everybody else is to be slaughtered. Men, women, children, all of them. And so mark the good guy. The rest that are committing abominations, get rid of them. In Revelation, it's the opposite. Or it leads you to believe that. Those who are bad get a mark. And then there are actually two marks, because either you have the mark of God in your forehead, or you have the mark of what they call the beast, or the beast system, which is what I want to talk about right now. Let me go back to the map and get up this. Now, in this age, this is the symbol. I'm just going to keep talking about this. It's the Chi-Rho. It is the woman. X is the woman. Y is the man. They want to make the androgynous god that is both female and male. This is what they want. Or you can just have that. But, and they call it pansexual. Let me, so, this is the age. It's now upside down and mirrored, so it's going to look like that. It is a rod of iron. It is a rod of iron. It is ruled by Mercury and Jupiter. Jupiter on the masculine. Jupiter, they both split masculine, feminine in this age, which are Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini. I probably should have put Pisces here and Virgo here to make it match the Zodiac, actually. And in between Jupiter's two houses of Pisces and Sagittarius is this being. But it's not upside down. And it's feminine. It's this one. This is the other half of this. This is masculine. This is feminine. This is Mars and fire with Libra and air. So as Mars flips down, Lucifer or Libra rises. And that's represented by no wings. No wings. Libra's wings taken off, put Libra over here. Libra was cast down from here to here, or from here to here, because this was taken over. The wings were taken off. We see the taking off the wings. Libra had wings here. Then thrown out to the Orient. Over here is no wings. And then makes its way over to here as the ruler in Earth, fixed Earth, the age of Taurus. So you go from that power goes from Libra here all the way through the ages to just the serpent, the red serpent, and then as I guess Isis would be the best known representation, Venus, Aphrodite in this age. Now, about what Egypt is. Egypt's not Egyptian to start with. There's very little there that's Egyptian at all. And rightly so, because Alexander the Great took over the northern part of Africa. He knew it was in his birthright because of where the pyramids sit, and that it attached to the land he was from. It was part of Asia. It was part of that group. Now, the Dendera Zodiac is an amalgamation. It's everything in the flood was destroyed. So all they did was dig it out, repurpose it. Its original purpose before the flood was the Sphinx, which is the lion, fire, and the man, air, which is back over here. associated with Venus. Mercury and Jupiter play no part in the next 2 ages. They only come around on the mutable cross to mess shit up, throw things into chaos, pull a coup. They're unstable. It is just a roller coaster ride. But in alchemy, it's fermentation, coagulation and fermentation. Then you got to move through distillation to get back to the air. But we're in water world. To get water to turn into air or vapor, you have to put the heat under it. Back to Asia. So they're flipping all these principles. Everything is inverted. Masculine is feminine. They're trying to pull a coup. They're changing the times and the seasons. And they're doing it by mass rituals that we venerate, memorialize over time through generations. We have that event, which is actually that event, because they changed the number system. It's opposite this event, which was Fukushima. This is the last day of Leo, the first day of Virgo. This is the last day of Aquarius, or the last day of Pisces, the first day of Aquarius. They're marking a territory for the next age. These people even changed their name to venerate it. Went to South America, which Lima, Peru, which is actually down here, and Cusco represent the New Jerusalem. This will be the New Jerusalem. Another alert. It's really noisy here, and I'm trying to move through this as fast as I can. Alright, let's go to the next set, which we get what's coming up. Which is the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. Let me back up to Japan. The J is the Y, so it's Y-A-H-P-A-N. It's Japan, which is a name given to it. It's not the name, the original name. And it has the flag of the red sun. Whoops. That's their flag. It's a red sun on a white field. It should be a yellow field. Jupiter, Saturn, Ya and Pan are Cronus. It is Zeus and Cronus. In the last one, Zeus kills Cronus. That is, let me get us here. Whoops, got to turn this off first. That happened right here. When we moved from the age of Capricorn to the age of Sagittarius, which down here was the flood from Cancer into Gemini. It was the stars here in Capricorn, and the first deacon tell the story of when Anakin Skywalker walks into the temple and kills all the younglings, all the kids, the baby goats. The little white lamb is the symbol for right here in the Picatrix. The last degrees of Sagittarius, the first degrees of Capricorn. It's the only place you will ever find an image in alchemy of the pure white lamb, the slaughter, than right here, the baby goat. Now, Jupiter rules empire. This is, you have the Jedi here. The stars here are called the Jedi. And then the empire takes over here. Jupiter, Vader. Vader is a German word for father. Luke, I am your father, I'm your Vader. We get invader, evader. So this, when you read the book, and it's telling you that Yah is the Father, Jehovah, Yahweh, all of this is Jupiter. And that's, Jupiter rules water and fire, just like Mars does, just like the sun and the moon do. In Genesis, in the beginning, God, Saturn, created the heavens, a fixed heaven, a fixed zodiac. Aquarius is about alchemy and astrology. In the beginning, Saturn created time. He created the zodiac, the circle of alchemy, the circle of nature, of earth, water, air, and fire, and time, and everything under the sun. He created heaven, air, and earth, Capricorn, and it was good. And it became void and without form. We are told it's void and without. Let's go there in the 1611. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form. No, it became, not was. It became without form and void. This word void in the Greek text from the Hebrew text is called tuhu vuhu, and it means overthrow. The D is a T. The T is a D and the D is a T. So it's tuhu vuhu, and it's reversed, the letters. And it means catapult, overthrow, like you would catapult something over a wall. It was an overthrow. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. That means they had no zodiac. They had no timeline. No nothing. It was chaos. And the Spirit of God, anytime you see the word Spirit, especially in the capital sense, again, air sign. So Aquarius, Spirit of God, or Libra, moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light. Back to the zodiac. And we get the light in the mind, the fire of Sagittarius. So the zodiac's recreated, but Empire takes off right here. It is the story of Star Wars. That's why you don't like Star Wars. They're rewriting the script again, which is what happened here when the void was upon the face of the deep. It was darkness because they couldn't read the stars. So there was a world before Genesis 1, the void, right here. And let there be light. The wheel itself, light. The wheel is one, and we are within. We're in the middle. We're in the middle of this magic circle of alchemy, and we're becoming, well, here, the void, and then everything's been rebuilt here. And everything has been rebuilt without the being under the third eye. It's either the masculine eye or the feminine eye, the left eye or the right eye, the sun, the moon, the solar pillar, the lunar pillar, severity, mercy. Jupiter in fire is severity. Jupiter in water is mercy. Most merciful, most gracious. We are in water world. He rules over fire and everything. When you see the image we have, they do fire first, but then water is over the top of it. And then you see the ones where they try to interlink them. They make them wrap like a serpent because they are one. They are one. So what is one? Oh, gotta turn that off first. So now we're back to fire and water. Europe and Asia, and the northern part of Africa. They are one. Now the Christ, when he was born, there was a great slaughter, because the kings of the east followed a star of Bethlehem. That's the star Fomalhaut. The Lamb, Bethlehem, the Lamb. It's all there, which was represented down here. So they follow this star and tell King her rod, well, this is her, and this is the rod. And they slaughtered a bunch of infants. Back to pulling this ritual again. That sacrifice for the empire. And right now we're in Empire of Waterworld. The water has taken over the whole world. The whole world is now Waterworld. It's a one world. They imposed their Admiralty Maritime water law onto the land. Our Earth. Earth is always represented by three places. North America, this part of Africa, and Australia. And the Indonesian, this little group up here. This is, the indigenous people are black, and the Olmec, black. It's all Earth. And in this represents cardinal Earth. North America does. But in this age, Earth is mutable. All Earth is mutable. So, this is Virgo, ruled by Mercury. And it's upside down. So the V looks like that, and you get the VW. So Waterworld, we're dead in the water, because now it's all ruled by Jupiter in Waterworld. They have their maritime law flooded the land. So these three are dead in the water. These three are dead in the water. And Mercury rules commerce. He's Nike, he's the messenger, he's Loki, he's the trickster, he is the little boy blue, he is doing the dance on the CERN thing, and IPEC Go 2. He's pulling off the rituals. It's every religion on the planet. I don't care who they claim to worship. They have a water ritual. In Islam, you have to wash your hands up to your elbow before you can eat or pray to Allah. Some of my Punjabi friends have told me about drinking the water ritual. The Catholics christen, the Protestants full immersion underwater. And the Christ said you have to do that. You have to be baptized for the remission of sins. That is freaking crazy. John the Baptist is the sacrifice. His wife, or her husband, rather, they're pansexuals, always have been. They wanted John the Baptist's head on the silver tray, which is water, the moon, Jupiter in Pisces, the moon in Cancer, Mars in Scorpio, or the eagle. So John the Baptist was the sacrifice for the mutable cross. Christ was a sacrifice for the fixed cross, for the next age of Aquarius. My kingdom is not of this world age. Not. And the whole ones ruling the world age are that guy, cardinal fire, Mars, and Jupiter, which rules half of the so we're coming into, let me do the numbers again. One, two, 2, 1, 20, 20, that's terrible. Let's do that again. Is 3, 3, 20 is an X, it's 2 X's. You make the square and compass. You make the square and compass. That's the ritual. But it's happening in Saturn's house of Capricorn. It is reverse of when Anakin went into the temple and killed the younglings. They're trying to flip it so that that happens again. It's happening in that deacon, right there at the pure white lamb. And it's payday. It's Saturn rules karma. You reap what you sow. The Pope has closed the mercy door. It's not open. These two became one. These two are right now, in America, what we're dealing with is Scottish Rite and York Rite. The lunar pillar is the feminine, York, and the solar severity pillar is the Scottish Rite. This is a ritual because this is their zodiac. This is their city of Jerusalem. But when the real king comes, we get a new heaven and a new earth. Because the first heaven, which we're under now, Gemini, we're under Gemini, on the mutable cross, rules the heaven. He's the prince of the power of the air. This is mutable air. It is all the air under the dome. Aquarius rules the zodiac. It's the air. It's the fixed heavens. It's the zodiac. Libra rules what I call beyond the stars. Beyond, which are the 88. You have 44 constellations below the zodiac and 44 constellations above the zodiac. That's 88. It's the crazy 88. 44 mirroring 44. This is really complicated, but when the Bible tells us in the Old Testament, to me, I've told you, these books were not written by us and not written for us. They were written by the elite for the elite. They were compiled, but they were compiled from many scripts. And like the prophets, those are scripts for everybody. They're just written by the scribes in an encoded way and in an alchemical language that we were never taught. And never will be. Something you got to learn on your own. It is the matter of kings to search out the mystery or secret of a thing. You're all kings. You all have a crown. Go get it. All you got to do is open your third eye. That's the jewel in your crown. That is represented what they did in their fake Dendera Zodiac and their Tower of Babel, all of that is to find the jewel in the crown. pearl of great price. And when this is a body of knowledge called the body of Osiris, and it's been, depending upon the tale, it's been cut up into many pieces and scattered everywhere. And so Isis, which is the age of Taurus, and what we've been told is Egypt, found all the pieces but the phallic, and everything that makes it go. It can't reproduce. So she creates one. Well, it's represented by the star Sirius. The builders, Taurus, chose the star Sirius. And it's a fake phallic. It's a faux phallic. The true guiding, it's not even on the fixed cross. It's on the mutable cross. It's ruled by Mercury, the prince of the power of the air that rules commerce and advertising, and the advertiser creates the logos or the images, the marks. And you can't buy or sell without those marks on your products, those images. And this god forbade, the god of Aries and fire, commandment, thou shalt have no graven images of anything in heaven or in earth, in Gemini and Taurus, in Libra and Virgo, Aquarius and Capricorn. All these images were forbidden. You can only have images of fire and water: Aries, Pisces, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Leo, Cancer, which is, again, this image. And was it one day this week? I think it was Twitter, Instagram, one of those banned this image. But unfortunately, the images that were given for heaven and earth, are perverted. Pan has become Baphomet. Help us on the Taurus, Gemini. It's just awful what they've done. Bad is good, good is bad, left is right, up is down, black is white. When they tell you Black Lives Matter, they mean White Lives Matter, because black is white now. The Swedish word Switzerland comes from the word Sforza. It's Sforza land. It was the black land. They were considered the black pharaohs. Well, the pharaohs of Taurus had the caduceus of Gemini. It's when the sons of God, let's go to, hold on. Okay, let's get this lined up. Going to the Arabic. This is where it all comes from. Let me zoom out a little bit. This is the Betelgeuse is the shoulder of the giant. The giant. They were the giant's foot. So Orion is the giant. And the sons of God, the gods rule the air. The gods are in heaven. And that is Mercury, Venus, and Saturn. And so this god, and he's got the caduceus, he comes over here and rules these people. And he's got the double snakes on his head. It's the pharaoh with the double snake, or the caduceus of Gemini. And so when they rebuild the knowledge, or the body of Osiris, or the Zodiac, they made Sirius the phallic of Osiris, and he is part of, Gemini, not part of Africa. You'll find the original temple of Sirius in India. And you'll find it in the pattern of the stars that follow Castor and Pollux, are Remus and Romulus, Every age tells the tale a little differently. And you need to know all the ages. All 12 of them represent they represent in the Bible, in the Old Testament, they are the sons of Israel, the offspring of Abraham. Abraham is Brahma. And so they're the offspring of Brahma. And there are 12 patriarchs, there are 12 apostles, and they'll all be represented in the New Jerusalem. The mouth of the fish in Arabic is referring to the Mayan, what is an Aztec calendar. They call it the Mayan calendar because the word Mayan means illusion. It's an Aztec calendar, in that, which is the AZT. I'm the first, the last, and the Tau. The mouth of the fish is fish mouth. It's not mouth of fish. It's the other way around. English has turned it around. English is a spell. Again, we park in the driveway and drive on the parkway. It's not mouth of the fish. It's the fish mouth. And you find that the image in the center of the Aztec calendar, which represents Peru and all up, they moved north, his tongue is sticking out. And it's in the shape of a fish, which Gemini imitates as Shiva. Shiva sticks out her tongue, but it's not a fish tongue. It's a serpent tongue. So out of the mouth. Now an I Pet Goat too. At the end, when he's in the Anubis boat, the dog boat, he's riding in the dog boat, and he is coming out of a mouth. He's been in the belly of the beast. He's coming out of the mouth, and he's got the lotus flowers with him. And the image of the water church, the ice church, comes down. And the image of the ice pillars come down. And everything is covered in water because it's water world. We're all under maritime law. I need to pause. Kelly's losing her shit. Again, I don't know where I was in the video, but I know where I am in my mind. And Gemini is the impersonator. He's the man of 1,000 faces. And they're the gods. The gods are the 3 air signs. So they were giants in the earth in those days. Giants is a word for builders. These people worship the great architect. The great work is building of civilization. Civilizations rise and fall, and constellations rise and fall, the changing of the ages. And these people are prepared. They know this is the real script up here, and they're seeking to change the times. The 311 ritual is opposite the 911 ritual as the marking of the ages. They're marking between the ages right now. We see a lot of images of the fish man. Dogon is the fish man. It's Jupiter, Saturn. It's Yah and Pan with the red sun on the white field. We're all in water world. We're in Davy Jones' locker. In Revelations, we are told, let's go there. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let's go. Are we at 21? And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth was passed away, and there were no more sea. Yes, the sea give up the dead first, and then those who are left will be caught up into the air to be with the Lord forevermore. So it's I, John, that saw the holy city, the new heir to the throne, There's another, the J is interchangeable with the H, the Y. They bibble-babbled us to no end, but it's the air, and Ru is red, and Salem means peace. It's supposed to be city of peace. You are the heir to the city of peace. All you got to do is put a T there and a T there. Behold, the tabernacle, not the temple. It's a tabernacle of God is with men, and he dwells within them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God, and shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, neither crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. And the New Jerusalem is the new civilization, is marked as Lima, Peru, is Thalem, it's Bethlehem, it's P-E-R from the Egyptian, P-R is house. It's also where we get the T-H. So it is Thalem. And Cusco, we're in the age of the church, which is C-H-R-C-H, no vowels, which is 11-18-11 or 11-9-11, but this is a K. 3 and 8 are 11. It's 3-8 CH 3-8. This is 18. It's a 1 makes a 9, and so it's 11-9-11. But the next one is Cusco, and this is 1 and 9 is 10, which makes 1. So it's 1-1, 1-1, 1. No more 9. No more IX. No more 9. No more Chi-Rho. No more C. No more maritime law. No more Mercury. No more empire. No more Jupiter. No more advertisers. The advertiser is the adversary. He adds the verse. He's the one bibbling the babble. King James 16:11 online. Use it. Learn it. Know it. Learn. Our language is a spell. The English as we use today is a spell. This is the King's English. You've been given the authorized version. Wow, there she goes again. All right. Let's see how much time we can get here now. I need the Gospel of John. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God, the same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was the life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. Word, capitalized, it's a title. It's a logo. The word from the Greek is logo. It's an image. It's a brand. It's a mark. It's an image. In the beginning was the image, and the image was with God, and the image was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by the image, and without the image was not anything made that was made. And in him was the life, and the life was the light of men. Now, the imitator, this is what he does. It's Mercury. He's the prince of the power of the air right now. He's the son of Satan. He's ruling Waterworld with maritime law and money. And he rules it by images. by marks and by brands. So all he can do is imitate how God, our nature, the circle, time, does this. He's just an imitator. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. The same was a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all man through him might believe. What a funny word. And this version of believe, there's no lie, and you leave be, and it's a good time to leave. He was not that light, but was bear witness of that light, that the true light which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. So everybody's got a light. Now we have an issue of the cloning question, because these were made by man. They were stones that were cut by the hands of man. The builders cut the stones. We have the stone that was cut without hands, and the stone the builders rejected. Again, they're all about imitation. They have nothing original. They have no, their origin, let's go back to the map. Origin is oriental. It's oriental. It all comes from fire. This is where Jupiter originally started, in Sagittarius, in the fire. You have to be orientated. Origin, original. This was, wow, this is Yaldabaoth's creation. Yaldabaoth's creation. Our text, let's go back to Stellarium. This is Arabic. Wow, the guy's yellow, got long fingers and slanted eyes, wear turbans. Very oriental, not what we know today as Arabian. We don't know that today. All the pharaohs, and this thing about men shaving their faces, right? He's got the beard. No beards. No beards. You have those that do and those that don't. The red man, Reuben, red man, red son. Native Americans, pure blood, they don't grow hair on their face. They don't grow hair on their face. So the pharaohs, some of the pharaohs had the chin hair. One, and all the iconography of the pharaohs, there's a big argument over whether the pharaohs were black or were they white. There's a huge group in India. Some of them have hair on their face, some of them don't. And now it's a big deal over there to have the hair on your face. You're in a more elite class. The rest are indigenous. There's a huge population in Africa that do not grow hair on their face. It seems like the sons of Abel, the black and the red man, that have no hair on their face, the rest imitate that. They call it civilized. I was asked a question today about the comet Neowise, which we have asteroids here. I can't get the comets to come up on mine anymore. If somebody can help me out there, appreciate it, but it won't give me the comets. And I even have it turned on, but they just don't show up. So, but comet Neowise, well, Neo is one. Let's, Neo is one, and wise, the W, is the symbol for magic. And magic eyes. It's one magic eye. One magic eye. And their magic eye, because there's two snakes. There's two snakes. The one that comes through the back door, and then the one that comes through the heart. And the back door teaching is part of the mutable cross. The pharaohs, you had to have both, which one is masculine, one is feminine. They're doing everything they can to create this androgynous one. This androgynous one that is both male and female. The goat man. The man goat. Well, the goat is feminine and it's black. Let me tell you the true image. Let me get this. No, it's not the one I wanted. The true image of Aquarius is a Native American chieftain in full headdress. He has a buffalo on his right. He has an eagle on his left. He has the little thing you put your arrows in. What do you call that? It's like a canister that you hang over your shoulder. And he's got an arrow he's got the little canister and it's behind him. And out of the canister is one arrow. Just one arrow. It comes out of the canister. Or it can be almost a spear if you want it to. But the one arrow with the canister. Because you don't even really want the bottom part. You just want that top part. That's going to be the symbol for the next age. Let me do it again. So he's got the one arrow that points out. And he has a dead lion under his feet. Or a lion laying at his feet. It can be a living lion. It can be a healthy, beautiful lion. That gives us a beautiful sun. The lion represents Leo, the sun opposite. The bison or the buffalo is going to represent Taurus. And so you're going to have the man, the eagle, the buffalo, and the lion. But the arrow here is going to represent the part of Capricorn. Like the cross will look like this. That's what it'll look like. They'll probably try to do it like this. But then that incorporates the moon down here with the sun. And the moon has no part in the first part. The first part is the sun. The second part would be the moon. But he's a Native American. He's got an arrow pointing over his left shoulder. And a buffalo on his right, and an eagle on his left, and a lion at his feet. Right now, they've turned that upside down. So the lion's on top of the man. And the buffalo balances the eagle, which is, in their book, is a scorpion. Scorpion comes from the Persian, which is what you're really looking at here. They pretty much all use the same Zodiac, Persian. Let's talk about the woman for a minute, because this is this age. And to Thalem, to the master, she was the woman with the alabaster box, and he loved her. He said that this woman would be talked about through all the ages because she's in the heavens. But they've made the whore of Babylon out of her. Everything in duality. They've made the whore out of her. But he loves her. He loves the woman. And he's going to redeem her. He's going to redeem the woman. She's mutable earth. He's going to redeem her. He's not going to redeem Mercury. He's going to redeem the people, her, the undefended one. So we have this symbol. It's been hijacked again. Hold on. And it's called, we have the cross and the X. And they're putting the X over the cross. And that is the changing of the ages. That's where we are right now. We're here. When I was little, I used to draw this all the time. This was my favorite cross. I didn't understand why I drew it repeatedly, because that's where we're at right now. We're in this is Japan. This is Japan. Ya ruling the X, and Pan or Kronos ruling the T. I'm the Aleph and the Tau, the first and the last. That makes 113 over here. So the events, the rituals that are going on this winter solstice, Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, is part of their ritual. They do everything by the stars. 9/11, 3/11, the tsunami in 2012 on all of that was part of, that was a water ritual. All of that was a sacrifice to try to hijack this, because, and they get really serious. They don't have a problem with a Saturn-Jupiter conjunction that lands in any other house but these two. When a Saturn-Jupiter, especially Capricorn, especially in the first decan of Capricorn, that's death to the empire. Jupiter is debilitated in Capricorn. Jupiter, for those of you who haven't been with me very long, the Babylonian name for Jupiter that is still used today is Nibiru. So, Saturn, his children, are the indigenous peoples of this world. The indigenous peoples. So the storyline goes, and if you watch 10,000 BC, and you see them taking all the slaves to build their pyramids, their yellow man, he was slant-eyed. He was almost a mix. He was almost a white yellow, really tall, slant-eyed, very oriental Asian flair to the architect that was doing the temple. And then all of the underlings from the architect were all eunuchs or pangendered, because they are Mars and Jupiter. They're masculine and feminine. They're fire and water. In Game of Thrones, everybody got angry because they wanted fire and ice to marry and live the Disney life happily ever after when you were given the three-eyed raven. But they didn't finish telling you the story, because it's still winter. Winter wasn't over. Winter is still coming. And winter's coming for us now. We're in the winter of our discontent. My goodness, I can't get over. Kelly is not doing well with me making this video. She has done everything she can to stop me. Another break. Okay, so let me get back to the map. The pyramid was a marker to divide the land into three, which to me it was this land. I don't think they were even over here in that story. It was the division of this. And actually, the Great Pyramid does. It sits on the center point of all Earth on Earth. It's at the center point. Now, what's going on now, because we have the three pillars, unfortunately, the sun pillar on the left is crooked. And then the middle pillar is the ladder. And we're under lunar astrology since the flood. So the moon, the sun pillar's crooked. It's off by 23.5 degrees. Because the sun don't travel around the earth like this. It goes at a 23.5 degree angle. Up and down, 23.5 degrees. We wobble. We wobble to and fro. The earth's been wobbling. And magnetic north is moving, which changes our northern stars move. We have 3 northern stars, and we move from one to the other. 3 northern stars move that move from one to the other, which move on those 3 crosses, and it takes thousands and thousands of years for that to happen. Alright, so the Mesopotamian tale of the Anunnaki is just telling you the tale of how the bloodlines from water and fire, Asia and Europe, mixed and changed places. That the same as the sons of God came into the daughters of men. You have Eurasians up here and Caucasians down here. But they're a mixed race. They're a hybrid. They're a hybrid. Indigenous earth, indigenous earth, indigenous earth. But this was given to the red man, because the next 2 ages are one. The next 2 ages are one. And they were told to migrate north. And they did, to the feathered serpent, which Venus will play a part in the next 2 ages. But Mercury, the prince of the power of the air, will not. We will have fixed air. We will have cardinal air. We will have all that knowledge back. But it won't be perverted anymore. All of the bad things are going to be wiped away. Let's go back to some bad things real quick. Because over here is your white rabbit. Which is with Sirius. And this is the symbol. When you follow the white rabbit, if you follow it, don't follow it where it goes. You're not following where it goes. You're following what it is, and when it is, and where it comes from. And its molecular structure is that of adrenochrome, looks like a rabbit, a white rabbit, which is lupus, or lepus. Now, the fixed star they should have been following in the Builder's Age was Aldebaran. And then the left eye blank. Your right eye is the solar pillar. On the fixed cross is the sun. But they're all still under lunar worship because the sons of God came into the daughters of men. The evil eye is right here. It's Algol. And it means the ghoul. The ghoul. You get the star. Don't do that. It don't even want to let me. There's an artificial satellite that's sitting on top of this star. So I am not able, and it won't tell me. International designation 2003. That's all they're going to, it's coming out of NORAD. So NORAD is sitting on top of this star, and I'm not able to lock into it. Let's see if I can get away. There we go. There we go. The ghoul, or the ghost. This is the eye of Medusa in Western tradition, or Greek, really. It's all Greek to me, right? It is the head of Medusa with Perseus. This is the evil eye that turns the Kraken to stone, which is the beast that comes up out of the sea, and Perseus being the hero. He's the hero, which the hero is on the fixed cross. The hero, Hercules Serpentarius. Serpentarius. Ophiuchus from the Greek, but he's the serpent holder, representing a knowledge. The hero. Well, the hero, when Scorpio hits the cardinal cross, when the fixed cross comes in alignment with the celestial cross, which are the solstices and the equinoxes, then because Scorpio, or the eagle, holds this position, the hero will die. The hero dies in the end. And we'll go through that for about 216 years, and then the story will change that the hero is resurrected as the fixed cross moves through the celestial cross. But these people, this conjunction coming up is so important to them. Let's go. They have been doing rituals for a few hundred years to get to this point. This is big game to them. Oops. And it's going to play 8 years to the minute, because they marked it at 11/11/2012, when it's actually 11/11/12/21/2020. And again, 2 X's in Roman numerals, the 2 compasses, the 2 hemispheres, the 2 worlds, the 2 pillars, and they want to make one out of it. And this is a duality. You can't make one. They're just trying to imitate the true creator of this circle and of nature and of time. In Genesis, in the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth, and it was good, it became void. That's this. And it was good. And the word beginning alone, in the beginning, beginning is a designation of when, time, ruled by Saturn, Chronos. How do we pray? Teach us to pray, the apostle said. And he said, first thing he said was, Our Father who art in heaven. You got to know who you're praying to. Our Father in heaven. Which one? The prince of the power of the air? Lucifer, that's in this age, is a perversion of Mars upside down. They've androgenized that again because they don't understand casting. They don't understand casting down to earth, rewritten in the script as on earth instead of heaven. And Mercury was the woman, the moon under her feet and 12 stars on her head. She gives birth to the man-child, is caught up into heaven, who was supposed to rule the world. Rule the world age on the mutable cross with the rod of iron. And we're back to the beginning again. Now, I hope that answered a lot of your questions, because I've been getting a lot of them. And to me, just to explain it that way should cover it. Now back to the map. In the next age, there is no fire and water. There is no Mercury. Mars plays a part. There will be fire. The sun plays a part. There will be water and fire there under the authority of Mars and the sun. Mars moves from fire to water. So Asia must become wet. Asia must become wet. Because they're holding the fire stick right now. And you'll have no need of the sun or the moon, for I am with you. We'll all have our crowns. You will be judged on your individual merit, not by your age, your gender, your sex, your orientation, sexual orientation. There will be, in the Greek, there was no he and she. In a lot of languages, there's no he and she. The masculine and the feminine is attached to the noun. The noun itself, the thing itself, is either masculine or feminine. But the sea will give up her dead. We are all dead in the water in Davy Jones' locker. Davy is David, the patriarch of the Old Testament. So we're all dead in Davy Jones' locker. But the sea give up her dead first. And then we which are living and remain are caught up into the air, caught up into the new law, the new Zodiac, the new Jerusalem. The new law, I get a lot about Ra and Law of One. Let me tell you straight up. Just because you find a little bit of truth in that, you think you found something. The lies are off the charts. Look at where it came from. University of Chicago. I don't need to say any more. Nothing good has ever come from there. It is a hub. It is one of the big hubs for all of this disgusting shit all over the planet. It's like the fountain of youth is the fountain within the youth. They don't want to drink from their own well. They can't. They can't even get in there. It's been sealed up. Mars, adrenaline, shuts it down. They can't have the best of both worlds without dying. And why should they have to die when they can just let somebody else die in their place? That this priesthood has been known for a sacrifice for their sins, for their moons. The name of the moon in Arabic is sin. Christ said he doesn't come for the righteous. He's coming for the sinners. I'm not coming for the righteous is the Zodiac, which is another name for Jupiter. I'm not coming for the Jupiterians. I'm not coming for the empire. And you just need to know where you stand, which God is which. And there are 7 of these gods, and they have many different faces. And the true God, the true, which is nature, this androgynous entity that's really neither male nor female. It's not that it's both, it's neither. When you're an egg in your mother's womb, you're neither male nor female. There's no need for gender. They think that their explanation to that is cloning. They're gods now. They're the great architects. They're the builders of the builders and destroyers of civilizations. That's all about Mercury. They're worshiping a god their fathers knew not. Well, the Empire's time is up. And they can rewrite Star Wars or rewrite whatever they want to write. It's not going to change the facts. They can tilt the pillars. They can turn them upside down. They can cause mass planetary rituals. Let's do this one again. S equals 19. Nope. 19. So it's C, V, don't do this to me, C, V, S. And I get CVS digital U. It's a coup. Oh, it won't even, it just drives me nuts. It's a coupon. It's a coup. It's a CVS coup. That's 3, 2, 2. And remember, we're moving from the R to the S. We're moving from the R to the S. Instead of CVR, it's CVS now. Because Cusco, the church, is going to move from 11.9.11 to 11.1.11 in designation. This thing goes in alphabetical order. They do everything, and that's their order. They like order out of chaos. They want a one world order and a frickin' duality. No, they want you to have a one world order. They're going to keep their duality because they're going to be on the other side of it. The scales are already unbalanced. They want to make sure it stays that way, and even more in their favor. And all we can do is stand. Number one, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. We really can't do anything. And it is not me, but the Spirit within me. Of myself, I can do nothing. You need to, instead of medicate, you need to meditate. Because medicate belongs to Mercury and that Hermetic tradition and his symbol of retrograde that he puts on everything. Makes you sick. Spins your chakras backwards. Your chakras are your gods. They're within you. And no man can serve two masters. You can't serve Jupiter and Saturn. You can't Ya-Pan. You can't Dogon. You can't Mars and Jupiter. That's two masters, emotions and empire. You can't do it. Your belief systems and your emotions. Jupiter rules psychology and ideology in Sagittarius and rules religion in Pisces. All of them. All religions. I don't care what they are. They start with a Jupiter ritual. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. It's an hour and 31 minutes in. I hope y'all, that helped you. You're probably going to have to watch this a few times. Take notes. Take notes of some of the things I said to you in the beginning and go do your research on that so you understand what's going on, and that how even at the 2020 solstice, we're only 3.5 years there, and we're told to wait. What is it in, let's just go there. See if I can remember which one it is. I want to say it's Daniel 12. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, civilization, even to the same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars for ever and ever. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, there stood two, the one on the one bank of the river, and the other on the other bank of the river. And one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, How long shall it be to the end of these wonders? And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the ruler, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven. You see, it's not as above, so below. He's got both hands held up to heaven. And swear by him that liveth forever, that it shall be for a time, times, and an half. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. And I heard, and I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed unto the time of the end. Many shall be purified and made white and tried. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. From the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Now, my understanding what's going on is the battle between the Scottish Rite and the York Rite, from the Western perspective, is that he is taking away their daily sacrifice. To build the temple, which is the abomination that maketh desolate, and they will resume sacrifice in the temple instead of everybody doing their own daily sacrifice. There shall be 1,290 days. Blessed is he that waiteth, and cometh to the 1,335 days, 5 and 30 days. 1335. So we go from 1290 to 1335. That's what, 45 days. You got to wait 45 days. But go thy way to the end, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days. The tares are taken first. We're also seeing that happen as taking away the daily sacrifice. A lot of the tares are being ripped out of the ground right now. So we're watching a lot of this happen. Let's see if we can go to the previous chapter. But all of these people, I mean, Trump gonna straight up tell you, he was one of them. He was an insider. He was one of them. And the Scottish Rite is definitely part of that. But you can read this story in 11. But what really concerns us was 12 and the waiting and the stand. And whosoever endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. We just have to get to that revelation point. Let's go to 20. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on that old dragon, the serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season. I think that's where we're at now, is we've already gone through all the rest of it. They're just putting it out there like we're not doing the 1,000 years. Or they understood that at about the time America was founded, that there was 1,000 years left in this age. Right now we're sitting at, the way it stands right now, we're at about 700 years till Pisces moves into Aquarius. Because we're at 322 and Aquarius is at 311. So they want to change that, because right now the Taurus is already in the summer solstice. And they realize they have a crooked cross. They have a crooked cross because their solar pillar is off. So they have our cross, but theirs is more of, well, let me get a straight line. This part's straight, but theirs does this. It's crooked. They have a crooked cross. Taurus is there, which makes the other end Scorpio there. So you have the you have Taurus and Scorpio already holding the summer and winter solstice. But theirs is crooked. This has to come down. It's crooked. Let me get out of here. Alright, I'm going to cut this here. This is pushing an hour and 40 minutes, and most people don't have a 10-minute attention span. YouTube's new rules. You used to have 10 minutes on a video for it to be monetized in a certain way to maximize profits. And they've reduced it to 8 minutes now. People's attention spans are getting lower and lower and lower. Alright, y'all know what to do. Be the love, be the kindness, stand in your ground, stay in the middle, stay in the gap. Stand in the gap for others. Don't become a part of this war between these two pillars. We're all dead in the water. Take your meditation instead of your medication at any time you can. I'm not telling people to throw their meds away, but they're just not good for you, not where they're coming from. You need to find some herbal alternative. The trees were made for the healing of the nations. Let's take a look at the new, before we go, that's what we'll do. Let's go to 22. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and out of the Lamb, Thomahal, Thalem, and in the midst of the street of it, which is the water of life that the water bearer pours. And either side of the river was the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yield her fruit every month. And the leaves of the trees were for the healings of the nations. And I like myself, I like leaves. The only thing I consume medicinal are leaves. The trees, the leaves of the trees. And there shall be no more curse. But the throne of God and the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. And there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither the light of the sun. For the Lord God giveth them light, and they shall reign for ever and ever. And he said unto me, These sayings are faithful and true. And the Lord God of the holy prophets, so I told you the prophets are this God speaking, sent his angels to show unto his servants the thing which shortly must be done. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings and the prophecies of this book. And I, John, saw these things and heard them. And when I had heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the angel which showed me these things. And he said unto me, See thou do it not, for I am thy fellow servant and brethren of the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of this book. Worship the Father in heaven. And he said unto me, Seal not the sayings of the prophecies of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. He which is filthy, let him be filthy still. He that is righteous, let him be righteous still. He that is holy, let him be holy still. That's why we're not supposed to wake anybody up. Behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do keep his commandments. You reap what you sow. The golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, that they might have right to the tree of life, and enter into through the gates into the city. Love the way through is written there. For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers, murderers, idolaters, and whosoever maketh a lie. I, Iusus, have sent my angel to testify unto you the things in the churches. Can you hear the church bells ringing right now? I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright and morning star. And the Spirit and the bride say, Come. And let him that heareth say, Come. And let him that athirst come. And whosoever will, let him take of the water of life freely. Because it's your water. You don't go drinking in somebody else's well. You have your own. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecies of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of this book of prophecies, God shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in the book. He which testifies these things saith, Surely I come quickly, even so. Can you hear the bells? They play the full song. And that just recently started. Wasn't like that when I first moved in here. Alright, people, be the love, be the kindness. Stand in your role. Find your cross. Stellarium's free. Link below. I've done the tutorials. Watch all 3 of them. Stellarium tutorial 1, 2, and 3. So you understand what you're doing, what you need to do. But I can't do it for everybody. You're going to have to pick it up and carry it on your own. And when you acknowledge it, it will acknowledge you. And you will be led. You will finally be on that straight and narrow path. And it will reveal itself to you, just like it does me. The more I carry mine, the more it reveals itself to me. I love you all. Thank you to everyone who donates to this work. And if you haven't already, please consider doing so.